Jackie Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
It's 1:00 o'clock. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I just had a little show. Dan Telfer has a show at the Bigfoot Lodge in
Dan Telfer usually has a show. He's got a new one at the Bigfoot Lodge.
yeah. And so that was fun. I saw Elliot Chang was there and Kimberly Clark and Eliza oh my God.
Schlesinger?
No. Eliza with an E.
Okay. Skinner?
No. Yes. Oh my God. What is wrong with me?
That's
Eliza
good.
Skinner was there.
I did a show with Kimberly Clark called Family Dinner. Have we talked since then?
I don't know.
Where you had to bring something to share for the panel. And there were like 60 people in this back room of Bourbon Room. It was the Bourbon Room thing.
Oh,
and I brought the squash and magoosh. I made summer squash baba ganoush, something that you're not interested in. But it's delicious.
I'm not interested in eating it, but I am riveted by your story.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So how was your set at the Big Lodge?
It was good. I'm making headway into a few more little canals, little tributaries off some main things. So that's good. That's things are getting thicker and fuller, and they're going in weird places I didn't expect because, of course, the audience takes you places. They start laughing at you. You're like, oh, is that funny? Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you say so, I'll keep going there. So it's cool.
That's awesome. I did Irvine last night with Maria.
Oh, how'd it go?
And I haven't seen her long set in such a long time. It was weird because she did an hour's worth of material in like 50 minutes. Because I think to some extent they were just sitting there reverently.
Oh, wow.
Which I believe would irritate me.
Right. No one reveres us, Jackie. We're lucky.
Right. They just laugh or don't laugh. That's and I think Maria would prefer such a thing. But she didn't bring merch again, and I of course made $500 in merch. And
Jesus Christ.
Beanies. Hottest day of the year so far. I sold a pile of beanies.
Good. I just found out that my publisher may have lost the files to even republish my book if they wanted to. But well, you know what? We'll see. I don't know. I'm like, hey, I have every draft saved on my computer if you guys, but I think it's something with however they print books. But
right, the layout and all that stuff. Maria's stuff.
And then she told me now the minimum I would have to buy if they were able to find them would be 1,500 books, which is like $17,000.
Right, you told me that. Oh, crying out loud!
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Right. Start a GoFundMe. Start a Kickstarter.
I would not put people through that. I don't know. I feel like I just have the worst luck with some of this shit. You know, like it came out. My original publisher went bankrupt. It was bought by a big one that, had nothing invested in it. And it came out on the day of a mass shooting, the Parkland mass shooting. Nobody would tweet about it, understandably. And I couldn't get them to tweet about it, my publisher, for like a month. And then they're like, oh, Laurie Kilmartin wrote a book that people suck. And now this, whatever.
Yep.
Oh, you should write another book. Why? What's the point? This fucking business is awful.
You would have to want to write like Lady Whistledown. I just watched the second to last episode of Bridgerton.
Yeah.
And there's a throuple. There's some polyamory going down.
Yeah.
And Andy was telling me, I think it was definitely about the first time he kissed a man. We just finished watching it. He said, it's the interesting thing about the first time. So, it was the first time this guy kissed him. And the guy goes, oh, stubble.
In a good
you don't
way?
realize. Yeah. Well, in just a way where you're like, there's no stubble when you kiss a lady. For the most part, even if she's got a little bit of a down business going on, it's usually soft. It's real soft.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that's hilarious. He said that's what he wanted the Bridgerton guy to say the first time he kissed him. He wanted him to go, oh, stubble.
They need more representation in that writer's room, obviously.
Right. Well, I was telling him that was not in the original series, the Julia Quinn Bridgerton series.
Of course.
Benedict does not get into a throuple, but I have thoroughly enjoyed the changes that the Shonda Rhimes and writing team have made. With the addition of the Queen, hilarious. She's a great character. The actress is knocking it out of the park. So freaking funny. And and I think there's only like one more episode, maybe two.
You know what? I read that the next season isn't coming out for 2 more years. And so I have time to, in fact, I might watch it right before the next season starts, because I watched season 1 and then I thought most of the main characters were going away. And I was like, all right, well, I watched because of those two. So that's okay.
Well, the guy who played the Duke in the first season was like, I'm going to be James Bond. And it turns out he was the paladin in Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
So the actor didn't come back.
Oh, I see.
So, and this year, no Daphne, third season, which is the oldest sister. And it sounds like, I mean, I don't know. It's fine. It's a romance novel made into a TV show. I'm on board, and yet I am not too invested, it turns out. My 16-year-old niece, she's 17. I know Darla told me she just got her driver's license. And she said, I could run away now, but it would not take me far because I don't want to get on the freeway. So she'd have to run away on surface streets. I think I told you that. It's a good one.
It is. Jackie, what is with clubs that are calling us 2 weeks out and saying, hey, their tickets for one of the shows aren't very good?
Oh, I don't get those calls.
Must be nice.
Well, I just show up and nobody is there. I don't know what's happening. I have booked so many of my own tiny weird shows that are coming up. Like it all starts after San Francisco, the 16, 17, 18. I'm at the Punch. Midweek, of course. But then the 19th, I'm doing a black box in Portland. And nobody's talked to me about those numbers, but also I don't know that anybody's advertising that. So
I don't know. This is like, I'm generalizing, but are clubs just getting used to having TikTokers do everything? And so like, I am
that
not
might be a generalization. Wait, yeah.
But I'm not used to doing all of this marketing. It was only 5 years ago, we just showed up and maybe tweeted about it, and then they put you on morning radio and you just crossed your fingers, and usually the club had a good base or something and you have decent shows. And now it's like you have to take out Facebook ads in advance. You have to keep tweeting or creating reels and stuff like that, and trying to get them to collab and do all this shit that we didn't. I don't know. I'm just not used to this level of marketing for shows weeks in advance.
Right. They're asking me about stuff. They're like, hey, I tried to buy tickets for your November show in Hamilton, Ontario. I was like, am I on their calendar yet? November's a long time away, and I'm not.
Oh, well, that's a totally different problem. That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about
because you're talking about something that's 2 weeks from now. And
or further on down the line, but I'm just not, I mean, just getting airfare and figuring like there's so much extra shit we have to figure out now for every single week. Yes. And we have to come up with a marketing plan now. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, that's new for me. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's real new.
Didn't you guys used to send emails with our TV credits? Like, what happened to that?
Right. They used to have an email list. They probably still do. But I think you have to encourage them to use their email list or something.
Yes. Which is weird, too. I started subscribing to clubs, like their Insider Club or Join, to see what they're sending, who's sending what, when. I just want to know what's happening. Oh, my God.
I know it.
Why now? Like, I've been doing comedy so long, and it's and the comedy part's the easy part. That was the hardest part for the longest time. Now, like, I could do it in a coma.
Right.
All the other shit is so fucking hard and time consuming.
Yeah.
All I wanted was to be able to kill. That's all I wanted. I didn't think of anything else when I was starting. I'm like, I want to kill like these comics I see killing. And I can do that now. Doesn't matter.
Right. Hard agree. It's I'm doing all of the press for Helium this weekend for Maria because she doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And the PR people were like, would you be willing to do it? And I was like, yeah, isn't that what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do morning radio so nobody comes. Yeah, no, I'm used to that.
You guys have morning radio for Helium?
I have morning radio and then TV.
Oh, the TV's fun. I did that one, and they're excited to see you again.
Oh, good,
because they knew you were coming. But I didn't know they had morning radio at Portland.
Well, they said, you probably don't want to get up earlier and do it. I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know. Why not? What about, I can come back to the hotel and fall asleep. It's not like I have a big day planned besides going to Powell's, you know?
Yeah, that is a big day, actually. That's a big day, Jackie.
To get to Powell's?
Yeah. I mean, you'll be there for hours. I think there's one copy of my book left in the purple room. Check it out.
Check it out. Purple room. Can people still buy it on Kindle?
Yes.
I wonder if you want to sell e-cards. Or some version of that is not the old-timey term e-card.
Like a download card for Audible or something?
Yeah, Audible or Kindle. Yeah.
I guess so.
You'd be proud of it, and you'd have you could do Shitty Mom and Dead. My dead.
Dead people suck.
Dead people
but yes,
suck.
I know I've never mentioned it on this podcast, so I can understand why you wouldn't know.
I'm so tired. I can't even express.
I know. Those things don't feel real. I mean, maybe I could just bring a copy of the book and go, here's the book and you can get it on Kindle right now. Why would they want to buy it from me and not download it?
So that they can talk to you. I don't know. Here's the next time. Nah, I'm not even going to say that. It's like, good luck. Sell merch if you want. I mean, merch is such a weird animal, right?
Right.
And the fact that I'm even willing, like, I'm discontinuing the dad shirt. I have like I might have one large left and a bunch of double XLs and a bunch of smalls.
Yeah.
So everyone who bought a small at Maria's show last night, I gave them a free small. Because it turns out nobody's dad is a small. So even a union maid runs a little big small. Still a small. Nobody's dad's a small.
Yeah.
I think I have like one 4X. I have a bunch of 2X. I'm bringing them to Helium because I'm like, I'm done with these. I'm done with this style. I think I'm also phasing out Squish. The Squish t-shirt, because I don't do that joke. That's 2 albums ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm working on the new album now. Now I want to do a new album in 25. I haven't told anybody who might record that album. Dominic Del Bene. Hello. But I think I'll be ready by spring.
Yeah, I think I might be as well. And I want to do it before I turn while I'm still in my 50s, because I have a joke about being in my 50s. So I'd rather be in my 50s when I do the joke.
Oh my God, are we all doing records in 2025?
We could.
I've been talking about it too. This is glorious.
Yay! It's I'm sure Mike Kaplan will do 3. We'll put out 1
about each of us.
And they get played.
Oh,
my stuff is not being played on Sirius at all. My Sound Exchange was $191. And that's the most it's been in like 6 months, 8 months.
I'm back to free pre-spoken giants numbers, which is amazing, quite honestly.
They're not. They have, I don't know, they put a hex on my name. No, it's just not getting fucking played. Nothing.
Yeah. We got fucked. It's not good. But
well, you're back. I'm not back though.
No, I'm not back. I'm back to pre my new album and when they're not playing any of the Stand Up Records albums. So 4 of my 5 albums, 5.5 albums are not being played. I think I got one album being played on Sirius, which is good. I'll take it. I need whatever passive income I can find. And
I know.
Yeah.
So do I.
I know.
So do I.
No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm completely on. I'm on your side. I'm completely on your side. I'm not saying that. But yeah, it's yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just booking my own one-nighters around the country. I'm going to Cincinnati for one night. I don't know how to. I don't know where it is even, but it's somewhere.
How are you finding these places?
I'm literally scrolling Instagram and
looking at other people.
Yeah. And then going, what are they doing? And essentially cheating, except for it's not cheating.
No, that's
because everybody wants to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how everyone's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a grind. Okay. It's a grind to have to get in touch with them. It's a grind to figure out what they're willing to give me. Right. It's a grind to figure out, what I'll have to do and if I'll come home with any money. I was hoping to do this Louisiana gig in July. I've never been to Louisiana with Jen Kober in July, but it fell through. So now I'm doing a couple of sets around town, July 9th, 10th, 11th.
There's a club in Louisiana, Lafayette called Lafayette Comedy Club.
Right, you did that. You just did that.
No, I didn't do the club. I did a theater there, and they kind of co-promoted the show, I think.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to them a little bit off and on, but I haven't been able to. It's really hard to pull the trigger. I just started sort of pulling the trigger on these indie gigs. Yeah, just going. I need the stage time. I need to work out this long set. I need to figure out these jokes, and the only way to do it, to figure out an album, is to do the long set. That's the only way to do it, because if I'm going to record an hour, it turns out. It's okay to do it in 20-minute chunks if that's your first album or if that's how you got to do it. But in an ideal world, you practice doing an hour 150, 600 times. And I want to practice it more times than other people. Like some people just go up and they're loosey-goosey and they're like, but I put out the album and then I write 2 new tags and I'm like, God damn it, C-Pup. How come I didn't remember the word C-Pup with a dog having a CPAP machine? C-Pup written like 3 weeks after I put the album out. C-Pup. That's funny.
Hey, same with me with my Dead Kennedys joke. Whatever. Yeah, I know what you mean. You know what's really a crime is that 2 really good headliners don't have fucking filled calendars because I don't know what's happening to the business. I really don't.
Well, it's just changing, and we have to either I'll speak for myself because I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know what to do. It's just a pain in the ass. It's changing like it changed. It changed in 94. It changed in 87. Where it was just like, oh, God dang it. I don't know how to do this anymore. And then you have to relearn how to get booked at different clubs. And some of it isn't even clubs anymore. When I go to when I opened for Maria at Irvine, I looked at the lineup and I thought about despair. And then I thought, don't do it. What a waste of brain space.
Because you didn't know who the comics were or?
Oh, I didn't know who most of them were, but some of them I knew. And I thought, well, it could be me.
Right.
And then then Irvine Improv paid me $150 to open for Maria. And then Maria, of course, gave me a giant bag of money. So, but
I was talking about this too. Other comics it's not just you and me. We're all like, we have to do so much fucking work, and we have to take on the financial burden of taking out ads, all this extra shit that it's all being foisted on us right now, like in the last year or 2.
Well,
right?
But think about the feature situation right now.
Oh
it's
my
been
God,
for a dozen years.
Horrific.
they're living in their cars. They're
Right,
just
right.
trying to get 20 minutes. Kyle, I'm talking about you 3 years ago.
Hey.
And
Rough.
so 6 years ago. And but the yeah, I mean, you're just investing so much into it. It's a
Somebody,
yeah.
I was talking, I forget the name of the guy we were talking about this, but about with clubs, like if they keep just booking whoever has followers, if that's the number one thing they look at, are you going to start to, do you have like a supposedly a dedicated audience that trusts your taste, right? So, maybe they haven't heard of a certain comic, but the last 10 times they've been at the club, they had a good time, or it was unexpectedly a good time, right? And now the club turns into like who has the most followers. Are you going to lose like hardcore comedy fans because you're not having good comedy there? Like part of what a club is a tastemaker. Like, hey, you haven't heard of this person. This person isn't famous, but trust me, this is a great fucking show. Does anyone do that
The
anymore?
best clubs do that. That's what the best clubs do. But
are they still?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? That is how Lewis Lee built Acme, my home club. That is how Molly built the Punchline, right?
2.
Right. I'm telling you, the best clubs.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there are other clubs that do it, but there's a lot of clubs that are just trying to sell taquitos and, chicken tenders and booze and a lot of the hardcore comedy fans, I think, are going to stuff like Don't Tell. And,
it's cheap.
and
they don't
indie
have to
stuff.
buy liquor.
It's not any, the tickets are all $25 to get in.
The tickets at clubs are more expensive and you don't have to buy any liquor.
Are they charging more than $25 to get into a comedy club right now?
Yeah.
In Kansas City?
I don't know. I didn't check Kansas City. I don't work it. But yeah, they are 35. Yes. 30, 35.
So
yeah.
30, $35, like in Cincinnati or Columbus or wherever the hell you were in Ohio. That's how much they were charging.
Jackie, I don't remember exactly.
Right.
Okay, right. But I'm saying.
But I thought 25 felt expensive to me.
I don't think so anymore because everything's gotten up a little bit more expensive now. And 25 isn't, I mean, you'll spend that much, you'll spend more at movies with 2 people,
Not in Wisconsin, but yes, I see what you're saying. But it's maybe I spent a full week in Wisconsin and I'm back to Wisconsin prices in my head. It should be $2.50 to get to the movie. And then you're raged at $5 popcorn.
And gas should be 79 cents a gallon. Yes, Jackie, I get it.
I told my dad that the reason, because my dad was like, how much is gas in California? And I said, I think it was like $5.39 when I left. And which is, I think I was wrong. I think it was $4.49. And he goes, wow, how do you, and I said, what Andy says, because when Andy goes to Wisconsin, he's like, you know why California gas is so expensive? Because it's better. It's better gas. And my dad laughs and laughs. So.
I did After Midnight on Wednesday.
That's right. Congratulations. I heard you didn't win because it was Juneteenth.
Yes. I was notified in advance they would not let a white woman win on Juneteenth.
You know why? Because they're not
I was okay with that.
Yeah.
I was okay with that. But it was a lot of fun. And they had this, they like to get you physical in at least one act where you're out there in that they have this area that's, they can manipulate with lights or whatever. And so.
Green screen.
Yeah, we got greens. I'm talking about underneath. Remember when we had to do dog stuff and jump and stuff like that? Yeah. They've got a lot going on with that little area. You can do a lot of shit with it. So it was a spin bike, and we had to be a teacher motivating our class, right? And so I was like, I don't want to get on a bike. And so I asked Percy if he would get on a bike and I could just yell at him. Right. And so that's what I did. And it worked out it was pretty fun.
Everybody was psyched. Two different people said that they, like friends of Andy's, called me and said, hey, did you see Laurie? Laurie did the spin thing was so funny. So
yeah, it was fun. It was, Percy is like, he is Percy Rusty. He's the warm-up act for After Midnight, but he's a very funny comic too. And he's extremely physical. I think he has some sort of ballet training, or I don't know, but he's just like, it's like Cirque du Soleil before the show starts, right? And so he's up for anything like that, anything physical. Yeah. It was pretty fun.
I was going to say about Juneteenth. This guy, allow me to send this, had a show.
Yes.
5 weeks before the show, he sends me the poster, and I said, "Are you having a show on Juneteenth without any Black people on it?" And he was like, "Yep." And then he did. That's what he did. There you go. That's that story.
Okay. That's a good one, Jackie.
Thanks for playing. I mean, the thing is I want the reason the government creates these, and Juneteenth, of course, was a real anniversary that was celebrated mostly just in the Black community for a couple hundred years. Not that 150, whatever. But but all the other sort of Hallmark holidays, you book what Hallmark wants you to book, right? It's Gay Pride Week. You book.
Sure.
It's Ladies Week. Get yourself a freak show going. I mean, some sort of, do something. That's my opinion about sort of holiday events that have some sort of theme of humanity theme. I would like there to be more. Show me that humanity theme that also does stand up.
Yes, I don't think the person you're talking about is inhumane. I will say it's June. I don't know why you're coming so hard on him. I will say it is a newer holiday, so perhaps it didn't trigger any bells in his heads when he was booking June 19th, right?
Right. Well, that's why
I would like to suggest. Yeah.
Right. You could. That's why I gave him 5 weeks to add at least one or two. Just make the show long. You can do it.
Okay. All right. Yes. Jackie, we should all be as good and thoughtful as you. It is true.
No. Yeah. So I had 2 people hurt my feelings yesterday. It turns out I am a hothouse flower. And so 2 people were impolite to me. And turns out I cry now. That's what I do. I didn't cry for 50 years, 45 years, whatever. The first 45 years of my life, I wouldn't think of crying. Now I'm thinking of weaponizing it. I'm just like, I don't know if it's the postmenopause. So postmenopausal, whatever. I think postmenopausal is death, Jackie. So I don't know.
What is it? Are we still in menopause? Or I don't know what it ends.
I don't know.
Does it end with our corpse in a coffin? I'm not sure. Don't know. So tomorrow, when this comes out on Wednesday, I guess that's in 2 days. I'm leaving for 3 weeks. That's a long.
Europe.
I've been away from my son,
and he's not coming. He's not going. He's got school.
No, he doesn't. It's summertime, Jackie.
Oh, okay. Well, we live in California. I don't have children. I'm barren. Thanks. I had a miscarriage when I was about 40. Thanks for talking to me about it. Pardon will I storm out?
You're so disconnected. It's summer. It's not in school.
Why would I? I don't have any kids. Are you familiar with the fact that I don't have any children?
Yeah.
How would I know? Good for you. Congratulations.
I give you a hug. I think you need a hug.
I need a bullet is what I really fucking need. Anyway, but also not available. But you're going to Luxembourg.
Wait. Oh, yes. So I'm going to New York for a night. I'm flying out Wednesday night. I'm going to do a set at New York Comedy Club on Thursday night. And then Friday, Saturday, I go to Boston. If anyone, please God, come to these shows. I'm so tired of these emails and being warned. Like, please, I'm a good comic. I swear it'll be a good time. You will have a good time. I don't know why I have to keep selling myself. Show the fuck up. I'm at the Off Cabot in Beverly. Please.
Right. I think, and to some extent, we're preaching to the choir here. Because these are the people who live all around the world who would come to us. there's 8 billion people on this planet, and I've recently realized I'm expected to be polite to all of them.
Then I return to New York on Sunday. I'm taking the train. I'm taking a late train out of Boston, and I'm just gonna. Yes, you must do that. You must do that. That is required. And then I'm not doing anything Sunday night. I'm just gonna chill out because I'm getting in around 8 or something, and then I leave on Monday. I'm taking Singapore Airlines. Now, Jackie, I got an incredible
going through
deal.
Singapore?
No.
Thank God.
One way. It's a JFK to Berlin. We stopped in Frankfurt for a sec, but it was only like $500.
Wow.
Just one way. And
That's
I was like,
cheaper
holy
than my
shit.
Indianapolis flight.
I know. So what I did was I got the bulkhead seat for an extra $100. And Singapore Airlines is known for being lush and
fancy.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to sit in my bulkhead seat with my legs all over the place. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And I'm going to Berlin for a couple of days. I have no spots in Berlin so far. And then, but that's okay. You know what? Yeah. Maybe we'll do a Zoom show.
Oh, wow. That'd be kind of really cool, actually.
Yeah,
that'd
it would be.
Yeah, what is we should come up with a date. Let people know.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go to Luxembourg City for a couple days, and I'm headlining the 7th of July at Carlitos. If anyone's in Luxembourg City, and then I'll be in Paris. JF Harris actually gave me a great idea for a T-shirt. Should I want to go down that road again? And then he gave me some names and numbers in Paris. So I'm doing a Don't Tell, and I'm also doing the Don't Tell's on the 9th, and then on the 10th. I'm going to do a PowerPoint show where they give you a PowerPoint and you have to defend it. It's like, it sounds like set list, you know?
Yeah. You remember
and
that?
I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Remember that? He had some sort of TED Talk PowerPoint version of set list.
Teleprompter.
It was teleprompter. That's
really?
right. Yeah, I did it once. And man, Troy Conrad's a fucking genius for coming up with a way to do a freak show comedy show that will inspire you to write. It is set list and teleprompter. I wish there was more teleprompter, because the teleprompter I had was about cloning, and I went off on this tangent about the legality of your clone. Like, is your clone officially your son or your daughter, or there would have to be laws where you couldn't have sex with your clone, because that's why people would clone themselves.
That's what you went to, Jackie? You perv.
I read a lot of science fiction. So
oh my God.
There's often cloning. But the thing is but the main reason why there's cloning in one science fiction book I read was so that you could, when you got old, you could transplant your brain into a younger body of yourself.
Yes, I read one where it's you could just use the body parts of your clone, and the clones didn't know they were clones, but they just knew like you would go to keep one to the hospital, and after about the 5th time you would die because they'd start taking parts out of you.
Oh right,
I forget the name of it. It was one of those
clone
names.
Rights is but it was
anyway.
An interesting idea, and I loved the idea of that. That's
right.
Well, that's cool. That sounds like an amazing trip. I was just talking to a couple of comic friends of mine in London, and also an opera singer that I know, and she's coming to go to a show of a friend of hers, and she's like, I'm just going to stay in a pod in London. It's super cheap. And I was like, wait, like those Japanese bunk beds? And she said, yes. Like, she paused and went through the words Japanese and then bunk bed. And she's like, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, well, how cheap is cheap? And for some reason, I never got an answer to that. They have them in London.
That's cool. Interesting. I remember, I haven't been to London in a very long time.
Me neither.
But that's okay. I'm doing this little trip, and maybe I'll go back next year. It's like, I had a wide open schedule, and I was like, I'm going to get depressed just doing spots. Get the fuck out of here and get some inspiration, you know?
Yep. Yep, I love it. I was talking to somebody. You're mad about the grind of booking yourself and trying to get into clubs, like we all are. But I was talking to my sister about pensions and how I don't have a pension. And I was like, because someone I know, wait, do I know them? Couple degrees, whatever. But I was making fun of them because they were saying they were on a fixed income. They were retired. And I said, what is that fixed income? And they said 25 grand a month.
What the
month.
fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's quality fixed income.
What did they do for a living? That got them that pension.
What did they do that? Oh, it was CEO shit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was sort of not CEO, but just, upper echelon sales management stuff.
You know CEOs? You're just
I don't
hanging out with CEOs?
I don't know CEOs. I know somebody who knows CEOs. I know a lot of people who know CEOs. So I've met. I'm adjacent. I got to meet Matt Damon once. Is that something? This is me sitting around my brother's house, and somebody famous will come on television. He's like, "Do you know that guy? You know that guy?" This is you doing that with CEOs. So,
okay. Should we
let's take a break?
Perfect timing.
Okay.
Who is the comic of the week? I was just watching her.
Gabby Bryan.
Gabby
Bryan. Yep. What's her Instagram?
Gabby is Ryan. Is Brian. GABBYISBRYAN. Go follow.
Right. So
yeah.
I've seen her pop up on Instagram, and then and I'm like, oh, put her on she's on my radar. And then I saw this promo she did for her. She has a crowd work special.
Oh,
and
wow.
The promo is so good. Did you watch it? I saw you watching the Dong. It's called Girl Town Hall.
Yeah.
And she'll just talk to the audience and they go dong and then jump to the next. I'm like, it was really good, and I would immediately go to a show if I wasn't a comic. You know what I mean? I'd be like, that looks fun. Like,
I bet you it is. Yeah.
I see her bringing new people to stand-up comedy,
right.
that maybe think it's all like sexist kind of shit. And then this sort of, there's this younger female energy amongst a bunch of the headliners that's bringing in an audience that probably, thought comedy was all, anti-trans male rapists, right?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that crowd work stuff. Is it like, how Pardo does crowd work?
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't mean to take away from Gabby. Find Gabby Bryan, and
she's very funny,
very funny,
personable.
Do that comic of the week. Moving on to our next topic: crowd work. Crowd work as stand-up comedy. Crowd work in the midst of stand-up comedy. Do you think she's the stand-up comedy that the crowd work that I've seen? I opened for Pardo this weekend too. Just he wanted to do 60, and so he did the Yoo-Hoo, and so there were a couple of comics who went up first, and then I did 15, and then he did 60, and it was full of people who had never heard of him. It was sold out Saturday, and so Yoo-Hoo room isn't super big, but they had the time. I mean, Jimmy Pardo is one of the most charming.
He's
comics.
brilliant. Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just he gets on stage and it's just the flow of it. And I don't know, I've heard him do this for a little while, but I love that he opens where he sets up a premise. It's the one about the belt. And then 60 minutes later, he tells the joke. And in the middle of it, it's all crowd work, and it's all jokes about people and about different things. And there's been a plethora of crowd work comics. Jimmy's, I think, is Jim. I call him Jim. Anyway, Jimmy has been doing it forever, right? Like his half-hour special was crowd work that he had to sell so hard to Comedy Central. He told me one time that they were like, but it's all crowd work. There's no material there. And he's like, no, that is the material. That is the
right.
standout, right?
Right.
You're not going to be, at no time will you be disappointed. It is stand-up comedy. And you know me with, and this is not to speak of, and there's different kinds of crowd work that's more improv and more and less, I don't know, sort of directed. Like Ian Bagg does a very directed version of crowd work too. I haven't seen a lot of women do it, so it's kind of cool that this woman's doing it. Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got their own style. I like to go in and out. I do chunks, and then I'm exhausted from the chunk, and I'll be like, I just want to go into the crowd and relax a little bit, and then come back and then do another chunk. That's kind of how I do it.
It is not relaxing to me to go into the crowd at all. I am 100 miles an hour. Let me get these 60 minutes out, and then you want to talk to me? Come up to the merch table. We can have it. We can
pay for it. Pay for it. You're always a capitalist, Jackie.
I do like making the sale. Weirdly enough, also a socialist. Huge fan of sharing. So,
yeah. I mean, comedy is changing on every level right before our eyes, and it's a lot. But it's supposed to change.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm mad about is the money isn't changing.
Oh, yes, and the money.
And like, I don't get reimbursed for Facebook ads. Why aren't you taking out Facebook book ads, Comedy Club? Why are you doing it?
Yep. So
I'm doing a door deal.
Right. Well, I am doing some door deals. So I'm going to do some Facebook ads, I guess. I got one going for Bloomington. I don't know if it'll work. I'm doing Bloomington, of course.
Yeah.
The weekend, I think it's the 15, 16.
I'm there a couple 14, weeks 15. After you. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Andy and yeah. My home life is complicated. So, okay. But the I'll stop there. But it's
yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Bloomington. There's part of me that wished I could stay in Bloomington for like 7 days. It's like what you were saying about Vermont.
I feel the same about Bloomington. Could I just have a residency there for like a week so I can just hang out in the city and hang out at the club? Please.
That's what I would like in Bloomington. So, and then also Portland, I mean, there's just not enough. If you do 2 days, you do 3 days, there's not enough. Though I will say that 19, 20, 21 that I'm doing up there where I'm coming in, I think I'm coming in the 19th from San Francisco. I think it's Punchline, Portland. I think I'm doing a Don't Tell, and then Eugene. And that'll give me some time to kind of wander around Eugene a little bit, which will be fun. And a day to kind of wander around Portland. In September, I'm doing Moscow, Idaho. And I'm going to go in a day early because some friends of mine moved to Spokane about 6 years ago. And I've been trying to get booked up there. Post Falls would have been the one that was close. I'm doing that in May. But
Idaho?
Post Falls, Idaho. It's Post Falls, Idaho. Yeah, it's only about a half an hour from Spokane. Moscow's like an hour and a half from Spokane. And oh my God, I drove by my aunt and uncle down at Huntington Beach on the way to Irvine, and on their street, not them because they're not nuts, but on their street there was one of those flags, and it was a thin blue line, but it also had the red and green, and then right across the street from a creepy flag like that, there was facing only their house, "Vote Blue, Adam Schiff." And I was like, own it. And then further up the street, there was an actual Trump flag. And there was part of me that wanted to knock on their door and just point and laugh and go, you gave money to Donald Trump. Why don't you just hand your wallet to someone doing crack? And I was like, but I didn't do that because I wanted to,
you had to get to the gig.
I had to get to the gig. I had to get to the gig. I was easily an hour and a half early. But I did have you know how the Irvine Improv is attached to Umami?
Mm-hmm.
I decided to try one of the burgers, and the burger was actually quite nice. It was a smash burger, garlic,
Pretty tasty.
quite delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And then I did Flappers, and then I did the family dinner thing I did with Kimberly Clark and Paul Danke. Danke?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Was super fun. That was it was a weird game show where I brought my squash magoosh, and Kimberly Clark made deviled eggs, and Paul Danke made pretzel bites.
Okay.
Literally made pretzel bites. It was pretty great.
Did I tell you about Jenny Yang's show about self-help, whatever, her self-help show that I did like about a week and a half ago?
Oh, fun.
It's really good. She does it once a month at the Dynasty. And I just thought it was the name of the show. You know how everyone names their comedy show something and we all show up to a bar and tell the same jokes we told at the other show. This is like a real fucking thing that she writes. Like, it's a real show. And Deb DiGiovanni was on it, and then a couple other non-comics were on it. But it was.
Did you do a set or is it panel?
I did a set, and then Deb and the other guests and Jenny did like a panel.
Okay.
And they had topics, and a lot of it was written, and it was great, and I couldn't believe it. she streams it, and it's
do you remember that Animal Crossing gig that she did over lockdown?
Yes.
It was genius. I mean,
she's always hustling and coming up with cool little weird things that no one else is doing.
Yeah, it's nice work. It's real nice work watching Jenny Yang work. Jenny Yang TV, you guys. That's good times. Hey, is it too soon to take another break?
No, it's perfect time for it.
We did it. We took another break.
Yay. So we had, I had 2 spots at the Comedy Store this week.
Oh, good.
And so Thursday and Saturday. And I was nervous. I'm still sort of like not super comfortable. Like I'm just, are they going to change their mind?
Yeah, it's a learned skill.
Change their mind.
Yeah.
But so I was watching Kirk Fox was up kind of before me on Thursday, or I forget which night. But anyway, he was so relaxed. He's so funny.
I saw Ryan Hamilton at the Comedy Cellar, and he had that same relaxed. Someone who's just worked there that much.
Yes, and I'm like, that's what I want. I want that feel. I have that feeling at other clubs.
Yeah,
where like if I was in a coma, you could pull me up, roll me on stage, and I would be fine.
Flappers and the Improv, it's fine.
Yeah.
Ice House only because it's like performing in an airport. So I'm just like, it'll be fine. It's just cash.
Yeah. So I want that at that place. So I assume will come. But I had both spots were good, and then I realized I need to prepare before I get there because I'm still a little nervous and I'm not comfortable writing, working on shit while I'm there.
Right.
So I need to do a little extra. You know how you show up, you haven't done an hour for a month, and then you're like, oh, I should have gone over my material.
Squire,
right?
my notebook, please. Yes.
So I was like, all right, here's what I need to do for the Comedy Stores. I need to spend a little time before I even get in the car. Because once you get there, the show started, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
this is my set list, my emergency set list that's in my wallet. And I did it so that I had enough to choose from the 25 I did with Maria. Yeah. So it's weird. You just always have to be on top of yourself and go, I can't, there's sometimes I can't always be on autopilot or, that usual, I'll just show up and be fine. It's like, there's sometimes I need to do a little extra prep because of the conditions. Yeah. Showing up and just being fine is not, that's backfired. That's backfired. Yeah, but it's backfired on me enough to know that I should prep because I still do it. I still think, I'm fine. And then I'll go in and I'm like, damn it. I know. I don't have it. I don't have the set list.
Yes. It's that thing of, I know that joke I'm working on, and then you're on stage, you're like, wait, I had a new line and I forgot to go over it. Now you don't remember it now, and this is a wasted set now because I fucked it up. Yes.
I did. I remembered my new Karen line. So it worked good the first time, and the second time, silence. And so the journey continues.
It's always continuing.
Yep. I got this weekend with Maria. I'm gonna work on my car bit, which is essentially a 6-minute bit that I think would actually be pretty good for late night, and then the 6-minute Karen bit. And I told Maria right before I went on stage. Maria and I always say, "Well, what do you want out of this set? What do you want to get out of this set?" And I said, "Well, I want to do those 2 6-minute bits." And there was a pause, and I was like, "I'm doing 25 though." It turns out 6 plus 6 is 12 minutes. So I did another 13 about other things. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yep.
I've been having great anxiety, and I don't know what else to do. Just keep going forward. And I'm still posting a lot of reels. I took this old set from 2013 where this insane drunk woman was yelling at me at Flappers in Claremont. And so I posted it sometimes, it's on YouTube and stuff, but now that I have a methodology with, the captions I like and the cover, I'm like, oh, I can make this look good now.
Yeah.
And so I put it into 2 parts on Instagram and Facebook because it's 3 minutes long. And then I posted the other one on TikTok. I don't know. Oh,
Yep.
Jackie. And I added it to my little spreadsheet of things I posted and what date.
Oh my God, Laura Vogel's so proud of you. I had one more meeting with her, and she did not ask if I was doing a spreadsheet, but the silence, it beat me up. So I said, "Laurie's doing the spreadsheet that you recommended I do." And she said, "I'm sure it's helping her. I'm sure she's seeing, And
it just it lets you know what you posted.
Hey, there's a fake Instagram account of mine that has been sending messages to menfolk, and then those I got, and then I got 3 messages from menfolk saying, "This isn't you, right?" And I had to go, "It is not, though. Of course, you are probably very handsome." And and they're like, "Well, I'll report it." And I said, "Best of luck." And then I emailed Laura Vogel and I said, "Is this what success looks like?" And she said, "Sure is." So
I guess so. Yeah.
Yep. We'll see.
I was talking to another lady comic who's divorced, and she was asking if I hooked up a lot, after I broke up with my son's father, and I was like, a little. And then I realized I've had this realization before, because sometimes people, like female comics, talk about sex all the time, right? A lot of them, way more than I do. And I'm like, maybe some people are hornier than I am.
Well,
I've always
that's
been like,
true,
wait,
though.
Why are you talking?
Different layers of horny.
It is, but I had this realization when Madonna was ascending. I'm like, she's always doing this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Madonna's a lot hornier than me, and that's why she's talking about this all the time.
Could you write just a small sex memoir called "I Think Madonna's Hornier Than Me"?
Yeah, because what, especially Madonna, because she's older than we are, and she is still talking about every fucking possible sex thing, and it's like, maybe she just likes it a lot more. Right. I guess. I don't know. Why is it still on your mind?
Right.
At 65.
Well, I told you about the comic who went motivational speaker.
Oh,
and right. I Googled him. He's out about it. So I don't have a problem saying his name if you don't have a problem with me saying his name.
Go ahead.
It's Kyle Cease. It's going to make the story so much better, Laurie, if I tell the people that it's Kyle Cease.
Yes.
Kyle Cease is, he was a road comic, and very wiggly and shouty, and did the job, and was very popular. Now, he hooked up with Louis Anderson in Minneapolis, and they did a seminar, much like Eddie Brill's seminars about how to get on late night. Do you remember those?
What is chapter 1 be the booker of late night?
There was some talk about how he should have recused himself, but yes.
Oh my God.
Well, what you were paying him for was supposedly insight.
Right. Okay.
And then, but nobody thought that was a little bit of a problematic overlap until later. Yes, nobody thought that, or everyone thought it and nobody said anything.
Kept it to themselves.
Right, because he was, as you said, the booker of Letterman,
right.
Which is no longer on the show, on the air. So, but Kyle and Louie now dead, they used to do this. You had to pay like $300 for a weekend, up to like $1,000 for like a 2 or 3 day. They'd watch your set and they'd give you feedback. And then Kyle went full lateral. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. And the reason I tell you this is because someone just told me that they went to one of his seminars. She got it for free. And she was kind of psyched about it because she loves a motivational speaker. And she's like, I wonder what this is going to be like. This might be cool. And, motivational speakers just say the same things, believe in yourself, quit beating yourself up, get up and make your bed, whatever. I mean, whatever they say. And, but it turned out that Kyle was Me Too'd, and Kyle himself has a video where he talks about what he calls his Me Too experience.
Well, can I just stop in? He was not Me Too'd. The women were Me Too'd and pointed it out. He was a perp.
Yes. What he was doing was he was sleeping with the women he was supposed to be motivating. So he was sleeping with the audience members. And when when confronted about it, he said, oh, I do it because I'm a comic. And that's what comics do. We sleep with the audience, man. We just do it. And I
Jackie
was reminded, yes,
is also hornier than me. Let me just say that right now.
I have to say that that he, like, it reminded me of Maria's joke where she talks about harassment in the workplace and how somebody's answer is always, but I'm Italian. It's because I'm Italian or whatever. It's the dumbest thing. So, but I was going to tell you this story is probably many years ago now, 6 or 8. I lost my driver's license at a carousel at LAX while I was picking up my luggage. A guy found my driver's license. He could have just dropped it in the mail. He had my address. Instead, he looked me up on the internet, watched a bunch of my videos, and then emailed me through my website and said, I found your driver's license. Do you want it back?
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, good, thanks. It didn't occur to me that he could have just dropped it in the mail. Many things didn't occur to me.
Jack, can I, as a mother, or maybe I just say right now, if that happens again, you say, no, thanks. I had to get a new one because my address changed anyway. So it's fine.
Right. Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Yes.
Instead, I said, I'll meet you at a coffee shop in Eagle Rock. And so we went to Eagle Rock, where I bought him a cup of coffee because he had my driver's license. But then he said to me 3 times during us sitting down that I should be the female Kyle Cease.
Oh,
because he had watched a lot of my stand-up comedy and he thought it was very positive and very supportive, and I could be a motivational speaker and I could make a shit ton of money if I were the female Kyle Cease. And then he said the female Kyle Cease one more time, and I said, I don't want any of that. I gotta go. Can I have my driver's license? And I did.
Jackie, here's what I propose. You become the female Kyle Cease, and I'll become a Republican, and we will clean up in this town. We will clean up.
You wanna meet at a Radisson over by an Ontario airport, and we'll just see who shows up. Everybody, who has $120. Anyway, so There'll be credites. There'll be crudité.
Jackie is malfunctioning right now, I think.
Yeah, it made me laugh though, because then Lisa Lampanelli did quit doing stand-up comedy and became a motivational speaker. Did you see that?
Yes, yeah. It's hard to stay in stand-up comedy, Jackie. Let's just pat ourselves in the back that we're still writing jokes and still trying to work in this fucking business. It's hard.